Morning and welcome to my kitchen. You can't see my face because I'm using my phone, but trust me, here I am. Today, we're going to make my favorite breakfast of all time. It is the kind of breakfast that I have made so many times I can make it with my eyes closed. And I figured, what better time than now to share that with the internet. So, you take your pan. A non-stick pan is nice. This one's a little beat up, but it still works. Medium heat, maybe a little bit higher than that. Let that heat up. In the meantime, get out some eggs, some bread, some ham, some cheese, assembled like this. We'll deal with that later. Salt and pepper. Crushed red pepper is nice, not necessary. While we're waiting for this to heat up a little bit, you're obviously also going to need some butter, which I have over here. This butter is out and nice and soft and melty. Speaking of butter, you want butter. You do not want margarine. You do not want country crock. You do not want any sort of spread that is not butter. You want butter and no other spread, because other things are frankly horrible to cook eggs in. See, this is melting a little bit, but we want it to be sizzly. We want the butter to be sizzly, so I'm going to turn up the heat just a touch. Get my eggs out of the container while we're waiting. It would also be a good time to make a pot of coffee if you were so inclined, which I am not because I've already had coffee this morning and it's about 10 o'clock. Usually I make this breakfast much earlier. Not today. You can hear it just a little bit sizzling. Once I kind of move the pan around, you'll be able to see. Oh, no, not yet. Not sizzly yet. This is the part where one needs patience, because you do not want to put eggs into cold butter. That's bad. Probably hear my son playing guitar in the background. Told him to go upstairs, so he did that and then left his door open. The butter's starting to get a little bit sizzly. I might put just a little more butter in there. That's a little bubbly. That'll do. That'll do just fine. It could stand to be more, but that's okay. A lot of flexibility in this recipe. I break my eggs on a flat surface because Alton Brown told me to one time. He also told a lot of people at the same time because he was on television. He didn't tell me directly personally. It works out quite nice for me. What I don't do, however, is I do not put both eggs into a bowl and then pour them directly into the pan. Before I talk about that, what I'm doing here is I'm piercing these yolks so that they cook all the way through and they're solid without overcooking the white. Comes out quite nice that way. I'm going to put a little salt on. This is rock salt in here. It doesn't really come out very fast, so I kind of put a lot on. A little pepper. And today I do feel like having just a little bit of crushed red pepper. It doesn't take a lot to give it just a little kick to make you happy. Now this is also the time where, while these eggs are cooking for just a couple minutes, one might go and get your bread and your ham and your cheese. You do this kind of, you can get all those things. I got them ready for this video, but I don't usually do that. So anyway, I don't put both eggs in the pan at the same time because I can't flip them at the same time. I can flip one and then the other. I am incapable of flipping two eggs at the same time. So that works for me. Now, the cheese that I have chosen today is a somewhat hard cheese. It is a sharp cheddar. So, when I flip these, I am going to take my sharp cheddar, half a slice, trust me, you don't need a whole slice, and lay it on there. That will give the cheese some time to melt. If I was using a softer cheese like an American or even a individually wrapped processed American cheese food or Havarti, then I would wait until later to put the cheese on. Firm cheese, put it on now. The second side does not take that long to cook, but I don't feel like I cooked the first side long enough. So I'm going to cook the second side a little bit longer. Now I can put away some of the other things. So now, and I'll try to do this in frame here. Now I'm going to take my egg and cheese and just set it right up on my ham and bread. This one's a little long, so I'm going to grab it here and let it fold. And I know you're thinking, why don't you have a whole slice of cheese? Just trust me on this. I have tested this 1,000 ways to Sunday. You only need half a slice of cheese. A whole slice of cheese is overdoing it. Now you're just going to take this and grill it in the pan. This is different from toasting. Why don't you just put this on toast? Wouldn't that be easier? Perhaps it would be easier. But toast is dry and crispy, and there's a place for that, but not in this food. What grilling does is it gives you a nice, buttery, crispy underside while still maintaining the moist texture of the bread on top. Whereas toasting would just take that all the way, and it would be hard all the way through. That's not what I'm looking for here. Some of that sizzling is from this ham. Now you can use other meats, sausage. You can use hard salami. You could use chicken if you want it to be ironic. You could use... I tried roast beef, it just doesn't work. You can't use roast beef. You can use many other cheeses as I have described. Shredded cheese will melt a little quicker. You can use... You really don't want to use cheeses that are too much harder than cheddar. I suppose it could be done. You can use feta cheese. I don't know that I would go as far as saying blue cheese. I'm not a fan of goat cheese, but if you are a goat cheese person, I'm sure that you would enjoy it. So now, if we look underneath here, we got a nice little golden brown. I'm going to make it a little more brown because I want it a little more crispy on the bottom. If I was a person who ate unprocessed plants on a regular basis, I might chop up some green onions to go on top of here. You could top this with salsa. That would also be good. I'm just going to have it like this. One, two. How's that look? I can't see it. You can. That's my breakfast. That's the breakfast I make every day. Thank you for watching.